Hey besties, welcome back. Today we are talking self-love. Now picture this. A world where you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you genuinely love the person staring back at you. Like you genuinely just love the fact that you're existing. Not necessarily because of the person you woke up beside or because you woke up looking good today or because you woke up on the right side of the bed, but just genuinely just loving the fact that this person in the mirror actually woke up today and I'm alive and I'm existing for a reason. Just basically waking up and feeling unapologetically yourself, embracing your flaws, embracing every imperfection as a testament of your unique existence. Now, wouldn't that be lovely? Wouldn't you want that for yourself? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm taking you to a journey of self discovery. It's called a journey of discovering whether or not you're in love with yourself or you're just basically, living off the validation you get from people around you or the satisfaction you get from your job or any of that. Beyond all of that, just basically you existing, right? Do you love you? Yeah, you're going to find out today if you do love yourself or not. Now, before we get into trying to discover whether or not you love yourself, how do you know if you love yourself or not? Let us get to understand what this term, what the topic of discourse is even talking about. What is self love? Self love is basically getting to a point where you realize that you need to put yourself first. It is having high regard for your own self and putting your well being and your happiness first before every other thing. Just basically putting yourself first and not sacrificing your well being or your happiness for someone else. And a lot of people mistake this for being selfish, right? There's a very thin line, I would say, between being selfish and actually having self love. Because at the end of the day, it also inculcates a certain level of selfishness. So, yeah, there's a thin line. How do you know whether or not you look out for yourself or whether or not you have self love or you basically put yourself first or put others first? I'm going to be listing out a few things or a few characteristics of people who do not love themselves or a few things you see play out in your life and you know that sis or bro, you don't love yourself and you really need to adjust. Now, for someone who lacks self love to a certain level, you would feel guilty taking time off for yourself, like just basically taking time to do the things that you really want to do as opposed to the things that your friends might want you to do or the things that people think you should be doing at the moment. Say for instance, you would literally just want to look out for yourself and take this time off and do what you just want to do or just sit in and rest, but because others want you to do something else, you don't want to disappoint them, you don't want them to say you're this or you're that, then you just literally leave the fact that you know you actually need this rest and pack up and go out even though you don't want to do it. Yeah, bro, you don't love yourself as much, you don't love yourself enough. If you need to sleep, just sleep. People are always going to complain, and I'm not saying disappoint people when you really should not disappoint them, but sometimes just learn to put yourself first. Okay, life will move on. If something happens to you, life will move on. It's like saying you're in a work environment and you have to work 8 hours, right? And you're working 8 hours straight, no breaks, even lunch break. You decide not to take lunch break because you want to cover up or you want to be the best employee. I'm not saying that it's bad. Be the best employee, but also make out time for yourself. It's necessary because trust me, bro, if anything happens to you tomorrow, that company is going to move on. That company is going to move on. So, yeah, the earlier you start understanding that you need to put you first, the better for you. Another way you realize you're not in love with yourself is constantly telling yourself that you're not enough or feeling you're not smart enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not good enough for certain positions or for certain people or for certain events and stuff like that. Denying yourself the good things of life because you feel you're not deserving of it. If you are that kind of person, then no, you do not love yourself. Because if you did, you would realize that you're enough. In fact, you're more than enough. You put everyone first at the expense of your own needs. That's another thing. I have a friend that does this a lot, every single time. Like literally would not eat or just take snacks so that others can. I understand wanting to help people, right? But it shouldn't deprive you from living a decent life. Okay, if you know that you are not buoyant enough or you know that you're not up to that standard, maybe just do a little less for others and do more for yourself, because trust me, These same people might not even put in the same energy if the tables are turned or if the case is reversed. But at the end of the day, you're not doing it for them to pay you back, right? You don't reap where you sow, but you reap what you sow, right? That is it. But that's not the point. If you must look out for others, first look out for yourself. How do you pour out of an empty cup? Your cup literally has to be full and overflowing for you to pour into others. So, how are you hungry and yeah, you're feeding other people? You're not even doing it happily because you're going to be doing it grudgingly. You're not giving cheerfully at that point because you wished you had more or you wished you were better off and stuff like that, but you still feel the need to do it. Why not just cut down on the giving and make sure you're looking after yourself first? How are you helping somebody and the person you're trying to help or the person you're putting first looks well fed? And you excuse me, it's not supposed to be funny. Like the person looks better off, dresses better off. You literally don't care about the way you look, the way you dress, what you eat. You don't care about your health. You would rather like spend money feeding people than actually taking care of yourself when you're sick. But if you die, these people are going to move on. That is not you trying to be a good person. You literally don't love yourself, probably because you feel the need to do these things so that you stay relevant to them, or because you feel the need to do these things so that people look up to you as a nice person or you come off as a nice person. That might not necessarily be the reason. I'm just saying, like, oftentimes is usually for the very wrong reasons, and that shouldn't be the case. If you love yourself enough, Oga, take care of yourself first before looking out for other people. If you don't know how to love yourself, how do you know how to love people well? Even the Bible spoke about it that caring for our body and mind should not come from a place of, comfort or pleasure, but as an act of worship and submission unto God. It should be in the book of Corinthians, something like that. Well, yes, it's written in the Bible, like caring for yourself. You cannot be overemphasized. You have to be healthy enough, really, to be able to care about another person, and that involves you caring about yourself first. That's the only way it's even sustainable. Another sign of absence of self love is comparing yourself constantly to other people. Everyone came to this life with their unique responsibility, unique pursuits, unique purpose. And if you constantly want to compare yourself to other people and live your life according to how their script plays out, then you're definitely not ever going to live out your potential. And what is life without purpose? Without your unique purpose, right? If you love yourself enough, then you want to look within. Don't spend time with yourself and figure out what exactly should I be doing, what exactly am I here for? Not necessarily playing out your life according to someone else's script. Now, today the person is into data analysis, you want to go into data analysis. Tomorrow the person is into content creation, you quit your data analysis, you want to go into content creation. You're definitely not ever going to feel fulfilled. You're not ever going to feel like you're enough. You're not ever going to feel like you're doing the right thing at any point. And that is high level absence of self esteem or self confidence. Like you literally have zero level of self confidence. And you don't feel you can do anything for yourself. You don't feel you're capable of anything. You just want to copy and paste everything that someone else is working on or that someone else is doing. How do you move ahead when they are no longer there for you to copy? Even when they are there for you to copy, but like you're always going to be the second person. That is even if you have the ability to do whatever they are doing right. Oftentimes you don't even do it right because that is not where you're supposed to be. If you love yourself enough, you wouldn't be doing that. You would know that you are enough and that there is a designed purpose for you and what exactly you should be doing. Figure that out and stick to it. Another sign of lack of self love is wanting to know what others have decided before making your decision. Well, it's good to seek second opinion. It's good to know, people's opinion and try and find out, okay, what works or what doesn't work, especially if the person has been there before or done that before. That's totally fine. But basing all your decision on what others think totally to make your whole life decision, that is a no, no. You don't love yourself when you always feel the need to prove something, overdo things. It's not even necessary, but you're always out there clouds chasing. Something happens in your life, and then you want to prove to the world that, oh, I'm actually living a happy life. You're basically just painting a picture of what isn't existent. So instead of working on your life, make sure that you're actually living a happy life. You are pretending to be happy. Another one is beating up yourself for past failure. Failure is very normal. It will happen to anyone. In fact, it happens to everybody. So let's not even say it will happen to anyone. So be prepared for it. Like if it happens, embrace it, learn from it, and move on. Like don't dwell on failure. Another thing is you're not trying anything new. You don't want to take any risk. You'd rather just stay inside and sleep in the whole day than trying anything because you don't want to take risk and fail and be laughed at. You don't want anything to further project the already existing failure mentality that you have. So instead of just trying anything, you're sleeping the whole day. You're not trying anything. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to even try and be corrected. You just want to be there. You beat yourself up for past mistakes over and over and you don't want to move on from it. You don't love yourself because if you do, you wouldn't be doing that. Oftentimes, some people just think that self love is all physical. You love the way you look in the mirror, your body positive and all of that. Even when you know you really deep down you don't like that body, you're adding weight, you don't like it, but you want to convince yourself that you love yourself and you just want to look in the mirror and say, I love me so much. But do you really love you? Do you really love you? Because if you do, you're going to shed that extra weight. If you love yourself enough, you're going to share that extra weight. If you really don't like it deep down, there's no point pretending to like it when you don't. There's no point pretending that you're happy when you're not. Now, self love is not necessarily being lazy and lying to yourself and looking in the mirror and being all body positive when you're really not. Now, don't get me wrong, I would never be an advocate of body shaming. But if honestly you look within yourself and you realize you don't like the way you feel, or you don't like the way you look, or you think you're not healthy enough, work on your weight, or work on your health, or work on whatever needs to be worked on. Work on your physical appearance. Self love doesn't mean that you're putting on rags, you come out looking all tattered and not presentable, and because you feel, oh, I love myself the way I am, you can walk around looking like that. That is not love. That is sheer laziness and living a totally disorganized life. That's not self love. Okay, loving yourself entails knowing that, oh, I love myself enough to understand that this is what I'm lacking and I need to work on it and I'm ready to work on it. You understand that if there are areas that I need to work on, then let's do it. Why not? If I need to work on the way I dress to become more presentable, then do it. Work on it. It's not coming out to shout, oh, I love myself, self love, body positivity. You're not working on it and you know you really don't like that. And when someone comments on it, you want to kill the person, you want to chew the person raw. But deep down, you know you're saying the truth. Just work on it instead of pretending to like it. If you're staying with people that don't love you and don't care about you, and you know deep down that they don't care about you, that is because you don't love yourself. Because if you love yourself enough, you will not be doing that. Like, why are you staying with somebody that makes you feel you're not good enough? Why are you staying with somebody that makes you feel like you're not worth their time, that makes you feel tolerated instead of celebrated? Why? What exactly are you doing there? If you love yourself enough and you're loved back home, you will be well on your way out of that relationship, situationship, or friendship, whatever it is. Just remove yourself from that picture. Okay? As long as you know you're not the problem, because sometimes you might actually be the problem, but you're not ready to work on it. If you're sure you're not the problem and someone is making you feel like you're not good enough or you're not enough, just move. As funny as it may sound, I heard some of you it's in toxic relationships, like so toxic that it could even be physically violent, like domestic violence and all of that. I don't like to go so deep into it because sometimes these things can be just more than the surface level a normal girl like me will know about. So I cannot talk from experience because I've not experienced it. But if you really do have people that love you at home, for the love of God, do not die in that relationship. You're better off alive than with someone who wants you dead. Like, is it not? How are you not seeing this? Can you just move? Another way to know that you really don't love yourself is when you constantly need validation. Like literally anything you do, you need someone to tell you it's good or to approve that it's actually good before you're confident enough to pull through or to carry it through or to see it through. Like why? Why? Do you not know how to make decisions yourself? Do you not understand something good when you see one? Why do you literally anything you do? I understand wanting people to pay you compliments, and that's absolutely normal. But sometimes, especially for the ladies, we be really wanting that from our partners and all of that. That is totally understandable. But you see, constantly wanting someone to validate you. Literally, if you do something and they don't tell you this is good, then you just feel like you've done nothing, like it's not good enough. You're going to constantly feel bad about whatever it is you just did. Can't you spend time with yourself? Can you not find happiness in doing other things? Joy is always come from within, like, joy, peace, the love that flows from within. That should supersede every other thing you expect to get from another person, because it can never be enough. Like, you will never feel fulfilled. Scratch that, okay? And start looking within, depending on other people for love or for happiness or for all of that. First, you're supposed to be able to afford that for yourself. You're supposed to be able to give that to yourself. If you cannot love yourself, why are you expecting somebody to love you? Like, you yourself, you've not learned how to love yourself. So why are you expecting somebody to love you? Why do you depend on someone's validation to feel happy? That's exactly why people commit suicide. They go all out for people, they want to be noticed, they do these things, and then the people end up breaking their hearts, or doing otherwise, or not living up to their expectations. Please do not let it ever get to that point. It's never worth it. Like, nothing is worth your life, and you didn't even give that life to yourself, so why are you trying to take it because of something someone said or something someone did? Listen to good music, go to the gym, do that exercise, improve the way you look. Go shopping if you have to. If money is your problem, try and get a skill or get a job. Don't rely on people completely for things. Don't rely on them to validate your feelings, or rely on them for financial assistance, or rely when you get disappointed, you would really be thinking about doing the unthinkable. So please, as much as you can, improve yourself. Understand that it only gets better with time. Go out more often, spend time with people that really and genuinely love you, that tell you the truth. Understand that you are enough, and nobody knows it all. Nobody is perfect. Stop trying to be like the other person. Work on yourself and be happy while at it. Shut down those negative voices in your head. Only think positive. Be grateful for the little things and be genuinely happy. Be happy when you achieve little things. Be happy when you're able to eat. Just naturally just be happy. So yes, if you have any of these tendencies or you have any of these characteristics, please, for the love of God and for the love of yourself, because God loves you too much, you cannot be feeling Him. Love is even a commandment in the Bible, and it says love your neighbors as much as you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, yeah, you know the rest. See how to put in the work to see that you develop self confidence, self esteem, self love, spend time with yourself, shut others out if you need to while at it, or put yourself first no matter what. People are always going to talk, whether or not you put yourself first. So, yes, if you put yourself first, yeah, they're going to call you selfish at some point, but you're the one that understands the reason why you have to do that. If you don't put yourself first, whatever happens, they're always going to say, oh, yeah, he was trying to be everybody's cup of tea. So, yeah, da 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 da. It's better you do what works for you. Do not live your life to please people. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, share to as many people as you can so that they also benefit from this. And yeah, see you guys in my next video.